It's just gone 12:15. My name is Jon Williams, and joining me in the midday zone now, the most wonderful Said the Whale.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi, John.
So Tyler, Ben, and Jaycelyn, and then,
Bradley.
Bradley. Yes. So Bradley, the new drummer.
Yes.
Very talented soul. We haven't got enough mics for Bradley, but if you need to, please do.
You can join me, Brad, if you need to.
Or with me, you know.
I'll sit over here.
So I want to jump into the Cascadia mini documentary series that you've been putting out. It's fabulous, and each episode, 3 so far, addresses each of you. And I've come up with a new name for you. I don't know if this has been used before. I've got Ben Jelangelo Grills.
Oh, I like that a lot.
That's a long
Although, we can change Grills to Stroud. Ben Jelangelo Stroud. I'll take that.
Okay, you're not a
I'm
fan
more
of Bear
of a Les
Grylls?
Stroud guy than a Bear Grylls guy because I prefer to see somebody actually surviving on their own in the woods.
Oh, and not a fake
with
one?
With a crew of camera guys sleeping in a hotel every night.
So I loved the piece. We're talking about you on the island, Gabriola Island there, and you're solar-powered.
It's actually Gambier Island. Gambier.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and it's right behind Bowen Island in Howe Sound. So it's similar but different than Gabriola.
Okay, just quickly. Can you read my writing?
Yep, they're right there. Gambier Island. Nailed
Yeah,
it.
see? I can't read it. I get complaints about this all the time with, who won this prize? Gandalf? No, that's Gary. That says Gary.
Gandalf.
I write like a 3-year-old. Anyway, so I love the fact that you got over there and recorded some of Cascadia, and you set up solar panels. Kate did that years ago with Sherman of Compassion, and they actually ended up selling power back to the Californian grid. They had so much that they had used
That's smart.
processed. Yeah, so it paid for the album. That didn't happen with this one.
No, we did not have the foresight to turn into an energy company.
No. We also ran out of sunlight, and then the power ended every night when it got dark.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was
ideal
perfect.
writing.
That's what you want.
So in your episode, it turns out that you're quite the guy with nunchucks and swords and...
Well, I grew up with the Ninja Turtles, and it had quite an influence on me. So I've always had a passion for the martial arts. I've never studied hard, and I consider myself, an enthusiast more than an expert. And I'm as much turtle as I am ninja. So let's just say that.
Was any of that channeled into the recording process? Did you, Tyler, get involved in throwing some stars?
You know what? I think it's in my 30s I play to my strengths. You do what you're good at.
That's a no. Jaycelyn?
We shot some guns, some pellet
We
guns.
shot some air rifles, maybe
Yeah,
bow and
air
arrow or
rifles.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So to throw over to you, Jaycelyn, you are an incredible cook. Flipping heck. That little...
People say so.
No, they can see so in the documentary. So what's the key to making the best Pavlova?
Ooh.
Because that
Wow.
looks
Time.
delicious.
Time. So you're supposed to make it the night before, and then you open your oven just slightly, and that lets it cool down while in the oven. So you want to have it overnight or at least 4 hours in the oven after you turn off the temperature.
Is there any secret ingredient in yours, or it's just standard, classic?
I put Bailey's in my whipped cream.
There we go. That's a big difference.
That's a secret.
For those listening that have cats and they can't leave that oven open just a smidgen, how would you
Oh.
get around that issue? Because I have cats, and they would jump in.
Really?
They would jump out very
put
quickly.
a wooden spoon.
You got to kennel that kitty, man. You want the
Kennel the
Pavlova or
kitty.
not?
I would just risk it and just leave the door closed, but let it sit in there for a while.
Okay. Secret ingredient, Bailey's and throwing stars.
Always put throwing stars in your Pavlova.
Yeah.
Yes.
Surprise.
It's called Pavlova surprise.
Yeah, it's like with Christmas pudding in England when there's that the oldest 1 pence one can find.
Right.
Don't eat it, children. I don't know why that's a thing, but I should probably research that. Tyler, you've got the old bike shed. You called it the Dirty Bike Shed.
The old dirty bike shed, ODB.
That's the studio. For zoners, explain that's your hub. That is your home outside of home.
Yeah, well, it's 25 feet away from the apartment that I live in. So that's
Size of
pretty
my
convenient.
bachelor pad. Carry on.
Yeah, pretty much. It's small. It's like 8 feet by 10 feet. A friend of mine helped me turn it from a dirty bike shed into a somewhat reasonable recording studio. It's not like perfectly soundproof, but it does the trick.
And so with Cascadia out in a couple of weeks, February the 8th, what was the starting point of this? I love that you shared the Kevin Drew connection with Unamerican. So if you could share that again with zoners that maybe haven't seen it online, what was the starting point? Was it in that back old bike shed and you made a phone call? How did this come about?
Sure. Well, Kevin Drew, for anyone not aware, is the singer frontman of Broken Social Scene, a band who's been hugely influential on us, for sure. And there was some talk of him producing our record. It never panned out, but through a phone call that I had with him where he was 100% in the bath during our phone call, and it was really romantic because I could hear like the water lapping as we spoke. He was just like, Tyler, just write me a pop song, man. Just do what you do best. Just write a pop song. I was like, okay, all right, I guess. And I hung up the phone, and then that was kind of where that line got born from. I was like, all right, Kevin wants to hear a pop song.
Will we hear some of that lapping water as the closing of the album?
In a way, there's sort of like some soundscapey stuff that you could interpret as that.
Yeah, it's open to interpretation.
Okay, confirmed. Kevin Drew's Bathtub is the closing for the album. Just when I read that online, I was like picturing Kevin Drew, wine bottle.
Oh, for
candles,
sure, wine bottle. For sure, candles.
He probably still wears something leather when he's in the bathtub.
Definitely leather.
We tried to get that for an album cover, but he wouldn't sign off on it. So.
And so Liz is texting saying she was at the show last night. She loved it, and she's just saying, were those the Cascadia flags on the stage that flanked you?
They were, yeah.
And
They were our own Cascadia flags. Tyler actually contacted the man who designed the original Cascadia flag and got his blessing to make a new one. So we have officially made a new Cascadia flag.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
We just added 2 trees.
Yeah.
3 trees. They
the three of us.
represents
Yeah.
us.
Oh, that's like when we took down the tree downtown. This is big news over here. A birch tree that's been there for 40 years has been taken down, but it's okay. We're replacing it with 4.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing.
4
Yeah.
10-year-old
Tree.
trees.
Yeah. We'll add that to the flag.
It's nature, man. That's nature.
And so the final thing before we take a break here is with Cascadia, Jaycelyn, what are you most proud about with this latest Said the Whale effort?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say I'm most proud of helping start one of the songs, because it's usually Ben and Tyler that will start off with the bare bones of it. And there's one called Moonlight, which I wrote a good majority of, and I'm most proud of that one, I would say.
And Ben, because I mean, the growth that this band has been through over the years, what about you?
Oh, well, this is the most fun recording experience. We started the whole thing thinking maybe we'll make an album on our own in the bike shed because, you know, we have all the time in the world and we don't have, you know, all the resources in the world, so we'll just start on our own. And then it blossomed into something completely different. And then we signed with Arts and Crafts, and now we're on a label for the first time. And so it's kind of like a growing effort that turned into something completely different than we imagined in the beginning. But it's also a nice blend of our earlier sounds mixed with our later career sound. So I don't know. I just feel like it's very organic, and the writing process was more shared between everybody, and it feels really good. We're all in a good spot right now, I think, in our lives and with the band, and everyone's really happy to be going forward and just feeling great.
Wonderful. And so, Tyler, because you've been managing Said the Whale from the start, what's it like now having Arts and Crafts involved?
That's not 100% true. We actually just parted ways with our longtime manager a few months ago. So I've sort of always had my hands in the management side of things.
Yeah.
And now it's official. But to answer your question, yeah, working with Arts and Crafts is a dream come true because we love that label. They're amazing curators of great music. And on the business side of things, it's been highly functioning, wonderful people to work with, great ideas, great marketing concepts. Nothing but love.
Because I saw in your documentary, especially the thing I took away was, what did I write here? Tyler needs time off.
I did actually go to Hawaii for 10 days at the beginning of December.
Good.
So
okay.
That was nice.
Good. I'm just checking. It's important to get that
Thank
balance
you,
right. No, I mean, because you were just sat there reeling off all these things. I was like, okay. So he sleeps for 1 hour.
Yeah, I'm busy, but I like it that way. I like to be busy.
You're like Noah Rogers. Supposedly his trick is he sleeps 3 hours every 24 and he creates the rest and works the rest.
Yeah, I once had a professor in university who said that every Thursday he doesn't sleep because you waste a third of your life sleeping. He's like, what a waste. So every Thursday night he stays up all night reading the dictionary.
That
seems
sounds like
extreme,
a waste of
but-
life also.
All right.
Think about the
Wonderful.
words he knows.
That's more
though.
useless than the birth dates of prime ministers.
Don't be so flippant.
Yeah.
Page 3,233 paragraph. I don't know. That seems a bit extreme.
The Zone at 91.3.